But I started on my next costume, and then I brought him home, and I was working. He wanted me to do it. He wanted me to start on my next costume, so I said, okay, I will. So I started making the costume, and I'd almost finished it, and I said, I've almost done the costume. I said, but I'm not going to wear it. I said, I'm not going in Mardi Gras without you. And so he said, you've got to go in. I said, no, I'm not going in without you. I said, we've been in that parade for 10 years together, and I'm not going in on my own without you. So he said, okay, I'll come in with you. And he was, of course, in a wheelchair. So I said, okay, I'll make you something. She said, well, I want to look like Sophia Loren. So I said, okay, I'll make you this big black hat with a big white roses and bow, and this jacket with this black spotted scarf, just like a picture of her at a fashion parade he'd seen. So I made him the hat and the scarf and the top, and I finished my costume, and I got a friend that was going to push him up the street in his wheelchair, dressed as a nurse, but just before the parade he had the heart attack and died. And they previously asked me if they want the coffin to go through the hole in the wall or bring the big curtains across. So I said, bring the big curtains across, because Jack loves big curtains. Like when we went to the theatre, he liked the curtains opening and closing. So I thought that'll be his finale, the curtains are closing. So I'm sat there in the front looking at the coffin with this big hat on top, and I thought, thank God I asked him to close the curtains, because if that coffin had gone through that hole in the wall, the hat would have slipped off it. So that was a blessing. the best things that's ever happened to me in my life was meeting Sir Robert Helpman. I was invited to a dinner party one evening, and we walked in, and there was Robert spread out on a chaise lounge, all in black with heavy gold chains round his neck. And I was overawed when I saw him, because he's always been great. I've always been a great fan of his. And when I was very young, and I used to play truant from school, I used to go to the public library because it was warm. And I used to look through books, and I found ballet books, and it had men in tights. And that was the first sort of erotic thing that I'd seen. And so I, at that time, which would be in the 50s, Robert Helpman was the leading dancer with the Zadorwell's ballet, and so his pictures were in all the ballet books. And to meet him was a great thrill for me. When we were invited to this dinner party, I asked the host if I could bring along a friend with us. So they were just met, so they said yes. So we took this Chris with us, and we were introduced to Robert, and we had dinner, and then we all went to the Purple Onion afterwards. And Robert was playing Kneesy with my friend Chris all evening, and when we came to leave, Chris said, "I'm going home with Robert tonight to the Chevron." I said, "Oh." So we dropped them off at the Chevron, and they became lovers, and they were together for 25 years.